Hey there, everybody. Happy Blacklist Eve. It is one of the greatest of holidays.
One more sleep, guys. One more sleep.
Raymond Reddington is almost back. I'm sure he will have, well, hopefully he won't have that sickness that's going on with him as bad. We can just get that out the door.
Yes.
This is going to be a crazy season, and the more that we hear about it, I think the more interesting it becomes. And we have a treat for everyone tonight because we had a chance to do an interview this week with John Bokenkamp and John Eisendrath, the executive producers of this show, and we'll link the interview in the description below. But here, we wanted to talk through a handful of notable things that were said. These quotes that we're going to be pulling out of here and there throughout this are from John Bokenkamp, but there's stuff about the Reddington Katarina arc. We've got news on how they're paying tribute to Glen, the Alexander Kirk of it all.
Yep.
Asked the question, got an answer. We're gonna get into that. Before we get into it, I should say, don't go yet.
No.
If you guys do like
You'll
this video,
miss it.
yeah, no, you can't miss it. Brainwash it. Okay, no, well, subscribe to the channel, and if you do want to support us further, check that link in the description to the store. We have shirts, mugs, and other cool stuff. I'm wearing one of the shirts now.
Yes, you are. But definitely make sure you're subscribed because we're going to have so much Blacklist coming up this season. You don't want to miss any of it. Starting right now.
Here we go. Okay, so I think something a lot of us kind of assumed way back in the spring because they ended with episode 19 and there would have been 3 more episodes. The idea was that this season was going to start with those 3 episodes, but a lot changed over the summer, I think, to put it mildly.
Yeah, it did.
A lot of shows seem to be doing various different things where they're trying to circle in to current events or changing their stories, and it seems like the Blacklist is just going to stay firm with the plan that they had. You are going to get effectively those 3 episodes as they were intended at the end of last season. They are kicking off season 8, which basically means that it's going to almost feel like we're getting into a finale right away this season.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I was really happy to hear them say that because that means that like this sort of the premiere, the first 3 episodes are going to be just like jam-packed with all kinds of stuff that is normally like, oh, it's the end of the season, so we're getting all this like really meaty material. Now we're going to be diving into season 8 and it's going to be like bam, bam, bam.
And, you know, I wish we could sit here and say that Reddington and Liz were going to find a way to patch things up and be okay. But, yeah, that reaction basically says it all because, yeah, they were pretty much like, no, things are going to get bad. Things are going to get really intense with these two right away. And Liz's desire for those secrets and those answers, it is intense.
Yeah, and I mean, they echoed something that we all, know about this, which is that Liz has been looking for these answers for years. Like, I understand the frustrations out there because when we first jumped into this show, it was like Liz and Reddington, they're working together and they're getting closer and closer and closer, and there's this love there. And there is still this love there. He still loves her. She still loves him. But they both still have these things that pull them apart, which is that Reddington doesn't want to give these answers. And Liz needs them. It is something that, she has this man who's been in front of her for 7 years, will not just give her what she needs. It's just like this unquenchable thirst for answers about herself, about family, about all this stuff that she needs to know. Then enters Katarina, who is someone else who might have answers, who hasn't said no to giving them yet. So, there's going to be a pull between Liz and Reddington, so it's not over, guys.
Let me be super profound here for a second, or pretend to be super profound here for a second. What if Liz learns the secret and she wishes it had stayed a secret? Okay, I'm done. I'll see myself out.
Or what if she learns the secret and it's like, I would have understood and we can get through it together because I love you. Like, where is that? They have had a relationship for so long now and they have seen some stuff together, Liz and Reddington. So is there really this thing she can't get over? She can't forgive. She can't still love him. She still can't be beside him. Like, I can't imagine what it could possibly be at this point.
Just remember, Dembe has encouraged, Reddington to say something, and I hope that we get something. Just something, anything at this point.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Clark Middleton. Glenn, Clark.
I know.
He's such a great character. We all love him. We all love the actor so much. He has passed away, and they've told us that they are going to tribute him, and it's going to be in episode 6.
I'm glad that they're doing something about it. I'm glad that they aren't just rushing into it either. It seems like John Bokenkamp and Clark were pretty close, and they really wanted to do justice. And I think the debate is, of course, do you just sort of transport Glenn and his DMV somewhere like off screen where we don't see it anymore? And that would just make me sad to think that Glenn is just like out there and we don't get to have any chances to hang out with them, because I love Jelly Bean so much. Like, he's such a good character.
Yeah, so it is seemingly that the character is also going to pass away.
I think they're going to come up with something that's very, very, I think, true to the Glenn character, which is weird but funny and enjoy. Like, he is like a microcosm for what makes the Blacklist great, in that he's just like this strange, larger-than-life character that doesn't feel like they actually exist in the real world,
Yep.
and yet there's still so much heart there that despite the fact he's a criminal, you kind of want to hang out with him.
He's really wonderful, and for a show that is as dark as it can be sometimes, he really, really was a light into the show. So, I mean, we're all really, truly going to miss him, but I was glad to hear that they're going to do something, and he's not going to just sort of, oh, and where is Glenn? Oh, he quit and, won a bunch of money and moved to wherever, and then you just never see him again, because I would have a hard time kind of believing that him and Reddington didn't have any sort of goodbye or still talking, phone calls, nothing. Like, their relationship is tight.
We do know that Glenn is really good at winning random prizes,
That's
though.
right.
Maybe he had to go put his hand on a pile of money for a long period of time. Okay, well, let's move forward now into the Sikarsky Archive, or the Sikarsky Archive, or something that I will probably never be able to pronounce correctly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I haven't in any video so far, so why change? But this is a fundamental mystery on this show right now. What it is, why is Ilya Koslov so obsessed with it? What is Katarina's relationship to it? We were, of course, curious about some of this, and I think this little tease from Bokenkamp is very interesting, where he sort of notes that we're going to kind of learn more about what it means, why it was created, who has died to protect it. Okay, see, my head is spinning about this, because this is really, really cryptic stuff. Like, this archive has never really made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, so getting any more information to sort of fill in those puzzle pieces will be nice.
I'm going to be very, very glad to know something. It just kind of just dissociate it from, like, remember the fulcrum? Like, remember all these other, like, random things? There are so many just, like, intangible devices on this show that are archives or files or duffel bags. Like, we just... Let's concrete it a little bit, guys.
For sure. Okay, so they're also going to be doing some really unique episodes, and we sort of asked them, about more character episodes like we saw with Brothers and Wrestlers episode and stuff like that. And they said, they are going to be doing some more unique type episodes that are kind of like that, but not exactly the way that we think.
That is intriguing. And they even went so far as to say they're playing with time in a different way than they often do, which, if you have been following social media lately, there is a strong amount of evidence that Lot Verbeek, who plays the younger version of Katarina Rostova, was recently back on set.
Yep.
If this is true, maybe we can finally connect the dots a little bit from, like, when we last saw her to the Katarina that we sort of have on the show right now. I think we all have a million questions. Like, is this a fake Katarina that we're seeing? What caused her to become like this?
Yeah.
I think all of this could be really, really interesting. And I know not everybody liked none of the character standalone stuff, but I enjoyed Brothers. I missed Reddington, but I still enjoyed the episode. But they're still trying stuff. I like that 8 seasons in.
I actually really like Brothers as well. And I mean, I'm a huge James Spader fan. I have been since the 80s. I'm dating myself here, but man, he's amazing. Obviously, we all love him, but, you know, I'm okay to have an episode or two here that's focused on some of the other team members to get to know them better as well. Because while we've gotten to know some about Wrestler, he's still kind of a mystery.
Finally, let us talk about Alexander Kirk, because I feel like there have been hours on this channel already devoted to whether or not Alexander Kirk is coming back on the show, what's been going on with him and Katarina, if anything over the years. What in the world did Alexander Kirk hear from Reddington in the whisper before he left?
There is a lot of debate on that.
I still am of the belief that Reddington told Kirk that Katarina was alive and that caused him to leave, but who really knows? But I, of course, wanted to get some sort of sense from them. Is he coming back? And what did they say? Maybe. There was the definite maybe.
The definite maybe to me, and this is just me in my opinion, when somebody's going to be like a maybe, then that means yes. But that's just me.
Listen, we talked to NCIS showrunners Frank Ardea and Steve Binder earlier this week. We asked them if Ziva was coming back, and they basically were just like, nope.
Nope, yeah. So for me, I feel like if the answer is not no, and it's like maybe, could be, I don't know, possibly, you have to watch and see, then it's like, yes. That's what I feel. That is not what they said. I'm just making it clear. They did not say yes.
I know.
This is just how I feel.
But I kind of feel like she does with this.
Yes.
I think it's coming back in some shape or form. I don't know when, I don't know how, but just the big takeaway I often get from this is, like, you know, we all nerd out about this show a lot on this channel, and for good reason. It's great.
And even off the channel.
We don't have to get into the time I dressed up as Raymond Reddington and paraded through the house.
Yeah, I think we actually have a picture of that up on our Instagram, maybe, possibly. And if we don't, I'll post it today. So go to Matt and Jess TV and subscribe to us over there and follow us. And that picture is either there now or it will be by the time we post it.
Unless I can find it and burn it beforehand.
Oh, it's so great. I love it.
See, I just love, though, how enthusiastic they still seem to be about the show. Like, even if you don't agree with everything that's going on, and I know a lot of people get mad at Liz and all that other stuff, but the passion is still really there. I was super grateful. They shared so much with us, so we highly suggest you take a look at that interview. But we also suggest you come back tomorrow, because we got a lot of Blacklist coverage coming.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're going to obviously have a review recap. We're going to have some preview stuff. And then we're going to have discussions all week. It is Blacklist season, guys.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, really. And yeah, that might also be because it's the holidays coming up. But anyway, what do you guys want to see now that we're so close to the premiere? Share in the comments. Give us a like. Subscribe. Support us further. Check those links to the store as well as our Patreon. And we'll see you here next time.